Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is challenges of African American females, and we have three African American females with us this morning to talk about some of the challenges in their lives. Our first guest is Miss Greenlee, and of course Miss Greenlee has been with us on a number of occasions, and I think that our audience is quite familiar with Miss Clemmy Greenlee, who is the leader or the founder of an organization called Nashville Peacemakers. And Miss Greenlee, since you came with these other two young women this morning, why don't you tell us who they are and the organizations that they represent?
Oh, yes. So first of all, just thank you for having me once again, Dr. Haney.
Yes, these lovely ladies. I have Miss Tiffany Love. She has her own nonprofit organization called Once in a Lifetime, which she will be talking about. I also have Miss Izzy Swing. She has her own organization, which is, she's also life coach and community advocate, and she would definitely have some good ideas to be talking about during the show.
Ms. Swink, well, let's start with you, and then Ms. Love can follow you, and we'll be able to bring it back up during this first segment. Ms. Swink, why don't you give us some information about your background, your education, and some of your experiences. Take about a minute and a half to do that, and Ms. Love will do the same thing, and then we'll come back and we'll finish this first segment for the show.
Okay. Well, I am a certified life coach here in Nashville, and I have my own coaching business called Synergy Holistic Life Coaching. And what I did was I branched off of that a little bit as far as doing Synergy Expos, and that is to kind of help small businesses in Nashville through expos and cultural festivals to just kind of empower, themselves. And so I do work with a lot of African American women as far as, finding their goals and just kind of empowering them to be better than they were before, or something they didn't think they could do before. So.
And Ms. Love?
I'm actually the first African American Mrs. Tennessee. I was crowned in 2012, and from that stemmed my platform, Once in a Lifetime, where we change lives and we transform lives. I do work with African American women who have different struggles. So what we do with that organization is we help them be able to find realistic goals that take a futuristic approach. And one of those realistic goals we incorporated was Beauty Behind Bars, where we actually work with women who have been incarcerated, helping them come out of jail to find jobs. In my background, I'm a licensed medical social worker. I provide cognitive behavioral therapy for teens, adolescents, adults, and I really enjoy that.
And Ms. Greenlee, what about your organization, Nashville Peacemakers? Speaks to that organization.
Well, my organization for the last 7 years, I've been dealing with African American women who have lost their kids through gun violence, youth violence, suicide violence, and so on. I definitely have not new to this game, true to it, and I want to come back out and submit myself all over again to the community that Nashville Peacemakers still here, never left. Clemmy Greenlee still have the love in her heart to continue the mission that she was given by God. And I want to not only just throw it out to all African American women, I want the African American men to also join.
And so your organization is reaching out not only to African American females, but also African American men and boys, I would imagine, who seem to be a problem in terms of dealing with African American females. Is that what we're saying?
Yes. Not only do we have a high murder rate for our young African American boys, but we also have a high separation rate when it comes to marriage and boyfriend and girlfriends, because some of these young men really need to be educated on what a relationship is, and not only just how to treat a young lady.
And of course, Ms. Love, now your organization is somewhat unique in terms of its efforts, and I would imagine that this has quite a bit to do with self-esteem. Is that?
Absolutely it does. Most people think that just because you're incarcerated behind bars, that's what incarceration or imprisonment means. Actually, it's not. You can be trapped behind self-esteem, low self-esteem that is, depression, and you can be in your own prison and not even know it. So what we do is we turn ugly situations into beautiful destination, and that creates beauty behind bars. You don't have to be behind a physical prison to be behind bars of life.
Anytime you have separated yourself from other things in life and have a sort of a negative, limited kind of attitude, you are in prison just the same. Is that what we're saying?
Absolutely. The words that you speak out of your mouth, the life from words, you become that. And so I definitely believe that incarceration starts within self. If you put yourself in that situation, you can become incarceration of just self-doubt.
And it's not only bars that makes a prison.
Absolutely.
But prisons can come from other things. And of course, what we'll do, we'll take this first commercial break, and we'll start with Ms. Swink, and then we'll have an opportunity over the next 8 minutes to explore some of these ideas. And we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.